Performance managing and motivating remote and hybrid work teams.
Hello, good afternoon, and well done. You've made it. It's the end. And if you think I'm going to stand up and talk about KPIs and how to manage people, forget it. I'm here to have a real conversation with you about what it means to motivate, not manage, but lead remote and hybrid work teams. So first things first, I'm just going to pull this chair forward. And I may be saying something surprising to you, but communication is down to three things. The first is body language. Now, you may or may not believe it, but body language is estimated to be around 55% of communication. So in the real world of remote and hybrid work teams, before the advent of video, you would probably only be able to interact with me via audio from here. And the thing is that as video came into being, and we were able to start having conversations with people with a video on our faces, we realized that the only thing we're revealing is our shoulders, our head, and our smiles, and also a bit of hand movement. But if we really want to start looking at how to lead and manage teams, we have got to show some authenticity. So my more authentic self is happy without shoes. And people may make assumptions about what that means. Oh, she doesn't wear shoes. But this is my sense of freedom. So for me to connect with teams online on a video call, I need to be able to show something about my personality. And authenticity really comes down to how people are motivated. There are two types of motivation. You might read that there are 10, 15, 20, but it really comes down to two things. First, people are motivated either by reward or by avoidance of pain. So I'm not sure how many people smoke in the crowd or anybody who came through New Year wanting to start a new habit. But when we are motivated by reward, in other words, if you give up smoking, are you giving up smoking because you want the reward of feeling better, or are you giving up smoking for avoidance of pain? And that pain that you're avoiding could be that you don't want to get emphysema, you don't want to, you want to avoid putting on weight. These things make a big difference in terms of how we act. So when you're talking with your team members and you're being authentic with them, try to understand what motivates them positively, rather than getting them to avoid the pain of not having performed. So as leaders, we have three things that we need to activate in order to really motivate and manage individuals and teams. You have to provide the correlation between what does the individual bring to the table, what is the team capable of based on those individual strengths, and lastly, what is the task? So if somebody's going to be working towards completing a task, you might want to use tools like desk time. If you understand me, if you put me on desk time, forget it, I'm out. Whereas other people are highly motivated by being able to say, look, I worked my full 8 hours today with my 2 breaks and my lunch break. People are different, and that's the power of being a leader, is being able to actually harness the thing that motivates them the most. So when I come down to the fact that we need to think about how we measure performance, I will pose this one question to you. When I want to know how well somebody is doing or what their job is, I don't put KPIs to what they physically do. I put KPIs to what doesn't happen when they are not at work. Think about it. If you don't go to work 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, what doesn't happen? And this is a great starting point for us to really understand that everybody brings a certain amount of value. Job descriptions are there for one purpose, but actually what's delivered and the impact of what's delivered is what really counts. So while today I'm only giving you a 5-minute, 6-minute speech, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is that authenticity is at the absolute core of performance managing and leading teams. So when you consider yourself as a manager, are you the kind of manager who is over here? Do you show a little bit of yourself? Or do you show the full volume of who you are? And while there are techniques that you can use from a body language perspective, most certainly, I don't know about you, but I've had team meetings with people like this, and I've had team meetings with people like this. One of the hard and fast rules, sit upright and put your legs together, nice and tidy, because that comes across in the call. As far as communication is concerned, yes, 55% is body language, but actually a massive 38% is your tone of voice. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. A few years ago, I gave a talk about the concept and power of feedback. And it was an interesting talk because what I did was I asked everybody in the crowd for 4 volunteers. And I asked each volunteer to draw a house. And to the first person, when I gave them feedback, I raved. I raved about the house they drew. Didn't matter whether it was good or not. The second person, I told them I couldn't stand it. I said, what is this? This is not what I asked you to do. The third person, and here's where the most powerful feedback happens, guys and girls, believe me, if you ignore somebody, they have no idea what to do differently. So the actual method with which we give feedback cannot be all positive because nobody knows what to do differently. It cannot be all negative because people are very unlikely to do a task for you again if all you do is trash it. The way to give feedback, whether you're on a video call, an audio call, or you're in person, is to really and truly start by saying thank you. Thank you for completing this. That feedback sandwich we all know. Say something positive. Say something constructive. Say what to do differently next time. So for the fourth person who had drawn a house, that person I thanked. Thank you for participating. I really like the way that you've shown the roof facing the sun. You probably want to make the doors a bit bigger next time because I'm not sure anyone would fit in. And lastly, next time we do this task, use more creative flair. That is the basic. Feedback is the meal of champions. And as leaders, despite all the tools that are available, desk time, Asana, etc., you need to connect authentically. So I'm pleased to tell you that I am authentically delighted to be on stage without my shoes on. I wish you all a great evening, party, enjoy, and thank you very much for your time.